is an American home on a Sunday morning not so very long ago. It is the home of a citizen of these United States. His name is John Jones. This is John Jones, an average citizen, except that he's very conceited. He's constantly saying he's a very high-class fellow. He must be, he says, or his wife Emmy wouldn't have stuck to him for nearly 30 years. This is Emmy, who scoffs at wives who boast they've never been separated a single day from their husbands. Bosh, says Emmy Jones. Wasn't John away for 3 days only last year when he went to the Legion Convention? But I'll say this, says Emmy Jones. John's never eaten a dinner I didn't cook with my own hands if he was within 50 miles of this table. There's another member of this household, conspicuous by his absence, who's known as Deanie. Deanie, that's a funny name. A nickname, of course, for Mr. Gardenia Jones, which isn't a name at all. Lieutenant Deanie. Once Private Deanie. I'll tell you how he got that nickname. When Deanie was born, he was christened John Jones, Jr. But as he grew up, there was always some confusion when Emmy called John. Now, Father John didn't like the name Jack, and Emmy didn't like the name Junior. But came a day when son John discovered that Joanne next door had all of a sudden outgrown her pigtails and buck teeth. And the first time son John took Joanne dancing, he sent her some little roses to wear, and he himself flaunted a gardenia in his buttonhole. From then on, the other boys called him Mr. Gardenia Jones. And time sort of shortened this to Deanie. So, an American home and a Sunday morning life begins. Listen, perhaps we can hear it.
Good morning. Hello. Too short?
I wish they'd worn them that short when I was a girl. John used to say I have the prettiest legs in this part of the state.
I never said that. I said you had the prettiest legs in this part of the country.
I'll hurry the coffee. I don't feel alive in the morning till I've had my coffee.
Doggone that florist. He swore to me that this plant would have gardenias all over it by now. Suppose Deanie wrote me a letter without writing you.
Bosh, my son didn't think of a girl like you before his old mother.
Don't read us your letter, Joanne. I'm too old for flaming passion.
I will read it, except for one paragraph.
Did Deanie get where he was going? The place he couldn't tell about?
Oh, he got there on the 2nd.
Where is he, Joe?
He's at a place called Hickam Field.
Hickam Field?
Where is that?
It's in the Hawaiian Islands near Honolulu.
On the 2nd, and you heard from him already?
What's the date today, John?
Sunday, December 7th, 1941.
How come Deanie Jones is at Hickam Field on this Sunday, December the 7th? Well, it began on the Jones front porch many months before December the 7th, 1941. There was a man talking on the radio, a man who seemed to think that some trouble in Europe was a threat to these United States. He seemed to think we ought to get some more men into our army, so that if anybody did start monkeying around with the United States, we'd be able to give them you-know-what. Some people didn't agree with him, but some did. One of them seems to be Deanie Jones. Listen.
What are you thinking about, Deanie?
I'm going to join up.
And so Deanie Jones found himself in a small town somewhere in the United States. A very nice little town, but not prepared to have 20,000 husky young American soldiers camped on its outskirts. And this still being many months before December 7th, 1941, there just wasn't anything for them to do, any place for them to go. Deanie didn't want much. He thought a good deal perhaps of that chair bearing his name back home in the living room. He kind of had a hankering for an ice cream soda. Well, there must be a soda joint even in a tiny little town like this. Yes, there was a soda joint. But there were also a lot of young men who had no place to go and nothing to do. Well, a movie. Deanie'd heard there was a movie in this little town. Even if it wasn't a very good movie, you can sit down in a movie. Yes, there was a movie, and a lot of boys with no place to go and nothing to do. Say, I wonder if there's a hotel in this burg. Yes, there's a hotel. Listen.
Good evening.
Wait a minute, soldier. What do you want?
I'm a guest. Where's the register? Sign me up quick.
We ain't got no rooms.
I don't want to use the room. I just want to take a bath.
Look.
All right, if I pay you for a room, can I just sit in the lobby?
We ain't got no chairs left in the lobby. Took them all out. Soldiers sitting in them all the time.
All right.
20,000 young men. 2 more hours of leave. But no place to go. Nothing to do. No place to go. Nothing to do. Not even a place to sit. Nothing to do. No place to go. Not even a decent place to sit down. And even a regular fella like Deanie Jones is mad tonight. Mad at the world, mad at the war, mad at the army, mad at the United States of America.
I'm going back to camp. So am I.
What about John and Emmy Jones on this night when Deanie hates his country? This night's still many months before December the 7th, 1941. There's a letter from Deanie, and John and Emmy Jones learn bitterly how Deanie feels. Listen.
That doesn't sound like our Deanie.
Oh, I wish he'd never joined the army.
So do I. I didn't mean that.
Neither did I. Funny how much noise a boy can make around the house just by not being here.
Funny how big a table for 3 can be when only 2 are eating. Something's got to be done about those boys.
Something was done about those boys.
Now, man, this is your house and your party, so hot to it.
Takes us back to an American home on the Sunday morning when no home in America yet knows that this Sunday, December the 7th, 1941, is to be a day marked for black vengeance. But at Hickam Field, they know it all right. And what is Mr. Gardenia Jones doing at the moment?
Jones calling. Jet planes coming this way from Pearl Harbor. Here we go, brother. Hey, the funniest thing happened. I saw 2 Japs offer themselves, lined up on one of them and pushed the button, and what do you think? Did I get him? I got both of them. That's one for me upstairs. Hold everything, brother. I want this one for baby.
This is an American home, some months after Sunday, December the 7th, 1941.
And Deanie says he'll positively get credit for the third plane.
I doubt it. I don't think he'd make a liar out of his Gardenia plan again, and see, it only says 2. 1, 2.
Oh, yeah? 1, 2, 3. A little one came out this morning.
Yes, something was done about those boys. The boys who were sending you back messages like, sighted sub, sank sane, and send us more Japs. Now, thanks to USO, there are hundreds of things to do, and over 1,000 places to go, and not only all over these United States, but from Pearl Harbor to Alaska to the Panama Canal and back again. And mostly in the little towns without resources and with thousands of boys on leave. And more than that's being done for the boys. There are now the camp shows with movie stars and theatrical entertainers and dance bands that come right into the camps. But the USO needs money to continue this great work. It's going to need $32 million. But shucks, that'll only be 2 cents per day per American boy in uniform. 2 cents a day, the price of a postage stamp. Now, I know you've been dipping down in your pocketbooks for plenty of good causes. Well, you're going to have to keep on dipping until this mess is over. For until we can bring the boys home, the USO brings home to the boys. And when it comes to giving a fighting American boy a place to sit down, a chance to write his mother, a plain, ordinary shower bath, the money's got to come out of more than the American pocketbook. It's got to come out of the American heart.